Source A. Campbell Santal Folktales 1892, pages 52-6, with some verbal alterations. A bonga is the presiding spirit of a certain kind of Riceland. Doms and hotties are low-caste aborigines, whose touch is considered polluting. The Santals are a forest tribe, who live in the Santal Parganas, 140 miles NW of Calcutta. Sir W. W. Hunter, the Indian Empire 57-60. Parallels another version occurs in Campbell, page 106 Sikh which shows that the story is popular among the Santals. It is obvious, however, that neither version contains the real finish of the story, which must have contained the denunciation of the magic fiddle of the murderous sisters. This would bring it under the formula of the singing bone which M. Mansour has recently been studying with a remarkable collection of European variants in the bulletin of the Wallon Folklore Society of Liège, CFENG Fairy Tales number 9. There is a singing bone in Steel Temples Wadiwake Stories pages 127. Seek Little Ankle Bone. Remarks Here we have another theme of the common store of European folktales found in India. Unfortunately, the form in which it occurs is mutilated, and we cannot draw any definite conclusion from it. Source The Bakajadaka, Fossbowl, number 38, Tr. Rees-Davids, pp. 315-21, the Buddha this time is the genius of the tree. Illustration. Parallels This Jataka got into the Bidpai literature, and occurs in all its multitudinous offshoots, C Benfei, Einleitung Section 60, among others in the earliest English translation by North, my edition, pages 118-22, where the crane becomes a great paragon of India, of those that Lioa 100th years and Neuer mew their feathers. The crab, on hearing the ill news, called to Parliament all the fishes of the lake, and before all are devoured destroys the paragon, as in the Jataka, and returned to the remaining fishes, who all with one consent gave here many a thank. Remarks an interesting point, to which I have drawn attention in my introduction to Norse Bidpai, is the probability that the illustrations of the tales as well as the tales themselves, were translated, so to speak, from one country to another. We can trace them in Latin, Hebrew, and Arabic mizas, and a few are extant on Buddhist stupas. Under these circumstances, it may be of interest to compare with Mr. Batten's conception of the crane and the crab. Super page 50, that of the German artist who illustrated the first edition of the Latin Bidpai, probably following the traditional representations of the MS, which itself could probably trace back to India. Source Miss Stokes, Indian Fairy Tales pages 73-84. Majnun and Lili are conventional names for lovers, the Romeo and Juliet of Hindostan. Parallels living in animals' bellies occurs elsewhere in Miss Stokes' book, pages 66, 124, also in Miss Frere's, 188. The restoration of beauty by fire occurs as a frequent theme, Temple, Analysis, 3. 6, f. page 418. Readers will be reminded of the denouement of Mr. Rider Haggard's she Resuscitation from ashes has been used very effectively by Mr. Lang in his delightful Prince Prigio remarks the white skin and blue eyes of Prince Majnun deserve attention. They are possibly a relic of the days of Aryan conquest, when the fair-skinned, fair-haired Aryan conquered the swarthier aboriginals. The name for caste in Sanskrit is _varna_, color, and One Hindu cannot insult another more effectually than by calling him a black man. _CF_Stokes, pages 238-9, who suggests that the red hair is something solar, and derived from myths of the solar hero. _source_steel temple, _Wadiwake stories pages 116-20, first. Published in Indian Antiquary 12. Page 170 Seek parallels no less than 94 parallels are given by Professor K. Crone in his elaborate discussion of this fable in his dissertation, Manuendi. Fuchs Helsingfors 1891, pages 38-60, to which may be added 3 Indian variants, omitted by him, but mentioned by Captain Temple, L. See page 324, in the Bhagavata Purana the Gould Bakali and IND. And 12. 177, and a couple more in my Aesop page 253, add Smeaton. Cairns page 126. Remarks Prof. Crone comes to the conclusion that the majority of the oral forms of the tale come from literary versions, page 47. Whereas the Reynard form has only had influence on a single variant. He reduces the century of variants to 3 type forms. The first occurs in 2 Egyptian versions collected in the present day, as well as in Petrus Alfonsi in the 12th century, and the Fabuli. Extravagance of the 13th or 14th, here the ingrate animal is a crocodile, which asks to be carried away from a river about to dry up, and there is only one judge. The second is that current in India and represented by the story in the present collection, here the judges are 3. The third is that current among Western Europeans, which has spread to Africa and N and S. America, also 3 judges. Professor K. Crone counts the first the original form owing to the single judge and the naturalness of the opening, by which the critical situation is brought about. The further question arises, whether this form, though found in Egypt now, is indigenous there, and if so, how it got to the East. Professor Crone grants the possibility of the Egyptian form having been invented in India and carried to Egypt, and he allows that the European forms have been influenced by the Indian. The Egyptian form is found in Burma. Smeaton LC page 128, as well as the Indian, a fact of which Professor K. Crone was unaware, though it turns his whole argument. The evidence we have of other folk tales of the beast epic emanating from India improves the chances of this also coming from that source. 1 thing at least is certain, all these 100 variants come ultimately from one source. The incident inside again of the Arabian Nights the gin and the bottle, and European tales is also a secondary derivate. Source Somadeva, Kathasaritsagra trans. Tani, Calcutta. 1880, IPP 272-4. I have slightly toned down the inflated style of the original. Parallels Benfei has collected and discussed a number in Orient and Occident I 371 Seek see also Tani Adlock The most remarkable of the parallels is that afforded by the Grimm's Dr. Alwisand, number 98, which extends even to such a minute point as his exclamation, ACH, ich armer Krebs, whereupon a crab is discovered under a dish. The usual form of discovery of the thieves is for the Dr. Know-all to have so many days given him to discover the thieves. And at the end of the first day he calls out, there's one of them. Meaning the days, just as one of the thieves peeps through at him. Hence the title and the plot of Sea Lovers one of them . underscore source underscore Knowles, underscore folktales of Kashmir underscore, pages 20 to 8. Underscore parallels underscore the incident of the aiding animals is frequent in folktales, see bibliographical references, underscore sub voce underscore, in my list of incidents, underscore trans, folklore congress underscore, page 88, also Knowles, 21. Underscore n underscore, and temple, underscore Wadiwake stories underscore, pages 401, 412. The magic ring is also common form in folktales, underscore cf underscore Kohler underscore ap underscore Merida. France, underscore lays underscore, edition Warnk, page 84. And the whole story is to be found very widely spread from India, underscore Wadiwake stories underscore, pages 196 to 206. To England, underscoring, fairy tales underscore, number 17, Jack and his golden snuffbox, underscore cf underscore notes, underscore ibid underscore, the most familiar form of it being Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. Underscore remarks underscore M. Cosquin has pointed out, underscore Comte de Lorraine underscore, page 11. Underscore seek underscore, that the incident of the rat's de Lupnos to recover the ring from the stomach of an ogress, is found among Arabs, Albanians, Bretons, and Russians. It is impossible to imagine that incident occurring in the same series of incidents to have been invented more than once, and if that part of the story has been borrowed from India, there is no reason why the whole of it should not have arisen in India, and have been spread to the West. The English variant was derived from an English gypsy, and suggests the possibility that for this particular story the medium of transmission has been the gypsies. This contains the incident of the loss of the ring by the faithful animal, which again could not have been independently invented. Illustration. Underscore source underscore the underscore Kachapajataka underscore, Fossbowl, number 215, also in his underscore 5 Jatakas underscore, pages 16, 41, Tr. Rhys Davids, pages 8x. Underscore parallels underscore it occurs also in the Bidpai literature, in nearly all its multitudinous offshoots. See Benfei, underscore Einleitung underscore, section 84, also my underscore Bidpai underscore, e, for underscore a underscore, and North's text, pages 170 to 5, where it is the taunts of the other birds that cause the catastrophe. Oh, here is a brave sight, Luke, here is a goodly yeast, what bug ha we here? Said some. See, she hangeth by the throat, and therefore she speaketh not, said others, and the beast fleeth not like a beast. So she opened her mouth and pashed her all to pieces. Underscore remarks underscore I have reproduced in my edition the original illustration of the first English Bidpai, itself derived from the Italian block. A replica of it here may serve to show that it could be used equally well to illustrate the Pali original as its English great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild. 14. Lack of rupees. Underscore source underscore Knowles, underscore folktales of Kashmir underscore, pages 32 to 41. I have reduced the pieces of advice to 3, and curtailed somewhat. Underscore parallels underscore see underscore Celtic fairy tales underscore, number 22, Tale of Ivan. From the Old Cornish, now extinct, and notes underscore ibid underscore Mr. Clouston. Points out, underscore pop, tales underscore, 2. 319, that it occurs in Buddhist literature, in Buddha Ghosha's parables, as the story of Kala Pathaka. Underscore remarks underscore it is indeed curious to find the story better told in Cornwall than in the land of its birth, but there can be little doubt that the Buddhist version is the earliest and original form of the story. The piece of advice was originally a charm, in which a youth was to say to himself, "Why are you busy? Why are you busy?" He does so when thieves are about, and so saves the king's treasures, of which he gets an appropriate share. It would perhaps be as well if many of Us should say to ourselves _Gatisa, Gatisa, Kim Karana, _. Source Panskatantra 3. V. Tr Benfei, 2. 244-7. Parallels given in my Aesop row 2. 10, page 40. The chief points. About them are, 1. Though the tale does not exist in either Phaedrus or Babrius, it occurs in prose derivates from the Latin by Adhemar, 65. And Romulus, 2. 10, and from Greek, in Gabrias, 45, and the prose. Aesop edition Hom, 96, Gilbauer has restored the Babrian form in his edition of Babrius, number 160. 2. The fable occurs among folktales. Grimm, 105, Wojcicki, Poln. Mar, 105, Gering, Islandsk. Event, 59. Possibly derived from La Fontaine, x 12. Remarks, Benfei has proved most ingeniously and conclusively. Anal, I 359, that the Indian fable is the source of both Latin and Greek fables. I may borrow from my Aesop page 93, parallel abstracts. Of the three versions, putting Benfei's results in a graphic form. Series of bars indicating the passages where the classical fables have failed to preserve the original. Bidpai. Phaedron. A Brahmin once observed a snake a good man had become in his field, and thinking it friendly with the snake, who the tutelary spirit of the came into his house and brought field, he offered it a libation luck with it, so that the man of milk in a bowl. Next day he became rich through it. 1. Finds a piece of gold in the day he struck the serpent, which bowl, and he receives this each disappeared, and with it the day after offering the libation. Man's riches. The good man tries. One day he had to go elsewhere, to make it up, but the serpent. And he sent his son with it, declares their friendship at an libation. The son sees the gold, and, as it could not forget and thinking the serpent's whole blow full of treasure determines to slay the snake. He strikes at Fod Dressel. 7, 28, Rom 2. 11. Its head with a cudgel, and the enraged serpent stings him to Babrian death. The Brahmin mourns a serpent stung a farmer's son. Son's death, but next morning as to death. The father pursued the usual brings the libation of serpent with an axe, and struck milk, in the hope of getting the off part of its tail. Afterwards. Gold as before. The serpent, fearing its vengeance he brought, appears after a long delay at food and honey to its lair, and the mouth of its lair, and begged reconciliation. The declares their friendship at an serpent, however, declares. And, as it could not forget the friendship impossible, as it blow of the Brahmin's son, nor could not forget the blow nor the Brahmin his son's death from, the farmer his son's death from. The bite of the snake. The bite of the snake. Pants 3. V. Benf. 244-7, Aesop, Hom 96 to the power of B, Babrius Gitb. 160. In the Indian fable every step of the action is thoroughly justified. Whereas the Latin form does not explain why the snake was friendly in the first instance, or why the good man was enraged afterwards, and the Greek form starts abruptly, without explaining why the serpent had killed the farmer's son. Make a composite of the Phaedron and Babrian forms, and you get the Indian one, which is thus shown to be the original of both. Source Steel Temple, Woodywake Stories pages 98 to 110, originally published in _IND Antique _X 147 _Seek _ Underscore parallels underscore a long variant follows an underscore ind antique underscore lc underscore m. Cosquin refers to several Oriental variants, underscore lc underscore p triple x. Underscore n underscore 4. The direction taboo, see note on Princess Labum, underscore super underscore, number 2. The letter to kill bearer and letter substituted are frequent in both. European, see my list underscore sv underscore, and Indian folktales, temple. Analysis, 2. 4, underscore b underscore, 6, page 410. The idea of a son of 7 mothers could only arise in a polygamous country. It occurs in Punchkin. Underscore super underscore, number 4, day, underscore folktales of Bengal underscore, 117 underscore Sikh underscore ind. Antique underscore I 170, temple, underscore lc underscore, 398. Underscore remarks underscore m Cosquin, underscore Comte de Lorraine underscore, p triple x, points out how. In a Sicilian story, Gonzenbach underscore sizzle. Mar underscore number 80, the 7 co-queens are transformed into 7 stepdaughters of the envious, which who causes their eyes to be taken out. It is thus probable, though M. Cosquin does not point this out, that the envious stepmother of folktales, see my list, underscore sv underscore, was originally an envious co-wife. But there can be little doubt of what M. Cosquin underscore does underscore point out, viz., that the Sicilian story is derived from the Indian one. Underscore source underscore Rajavada Jataka underscore, Fossbol, number 151, tr. Rhys Davids, pages 22-6. Underscore remarks underscore this is one of the earliest of moral allegories in existence. The moralizing tone of the Jatakas must be conspicuous to all reading them. Why, they can moralize even the tar baby, see. Underscore infer underscore, note on demon with the matted hair, number 25. Underscore source underscore the underscore Siha Kama Jataka underscore, Fossbol, number 189, trans. Rhys Davids, pages v6. Underscore parallels underscore it also occurs in Somadeva, underscore Katha Sarit Sagra underscore, ed. Tawny, 2. 65, and underscore n underscore. For Aesopic parallels underscore cf underscore my underscore Aesop underscore, AV4. It is in Babrius, edition Gilbor, 218, from Greek prose Aesop, edition Hom. Number 323, and Avian, edition Ellis, 5, whence it came into the modern Aesop. Underscore remarks underscore Avian wrote towards the end of the 3rd century, and put into Latin mainly those portions of Babrius which are unparalleled by Phaedrus. Consequently, as I have shown, he has a much larger proportion of Eastern elements than Phaedrus. There can be little doubt that the ass in the lion's skin is from India. As Professor Rhys Davids remarks, the Indian form gives a plausible motive for the masquerade, which is wanting in the ordinary Aesopic version. Underscore source underscore Steel Temple, underscore Wadiwake Stories underscore, pages 215-8. Underscore parallels underscore enumerated in my underscore Aesop underscore, AV17. See also Jacques de Vitry, underscore Exempla underscore, edition Crane, number 196, see notes, page 212, and Boson. Underscore Comte Moralises underscore, number 112. It occurs in Avian, edition Ellis, number 22. Mr. Kipling has a very similar tale in his underscore Life's Handicap underscore. Underscore remarks underscore here we have collected in modern India what one cannot help thinking is the Indian original of a fable of Avian. The preceding number showed one of his fables existing among the Jatakas, probably before the Christian era. This makes it likely that we shall find an earlier Indian original of the fable of the avaricious and envious, perhaps among the Jatakas still untranslated. 22. The Boy with Moon on Forehead. Source Miss Stokes Indian Fairy Tales number 20, pages 119 to 137. Parallels to heroes and heroines in European fairy tales, with stars on their foreheads, are given with some copiousness in Stokes L. See pages 242 to 3. This is an essentially Indian trait. Almost all Hindus have some tribal or caste mark on their bodies or faces. The choice of the hero disguised as a menial is also common property of Indian and European fairy tales. See Stokes LC page 231, and my list of incidents SV menial disguise. Source Knowles folktales of Kashmir pages 484 to 90. Parallels the latter part is the formula of the clever lass who guesses riddles. She has been bibliographized by Professor Child ing. And Scotch Ballads I 485, see also Benfey KLSCHR 2. 156. Seek the sex test at the end is different from any of those enumerated by Professor Kohler on Gonzenbach Sezel. Mar 2. 216. Remarks here we have a further example of a whole formula, or series of incidents, common to most European collections, found in India, and in a quarter, too, where European influence is little likely to penetrate. Professor Benfey, in an elaborate dissertation, Die Kluge Dern, in Ausland 1859, numbers 20 to 25, now reprinted in KL. SCHR 2. 156 Seek has shown the wide spread of the theme both in early Indian literature, though probably they're derived from the folk, and in modern European folk literature. Source the Lola Jataka Fossbull, number 274, kindly translated and slightly abridged for this book by Mr. W. H. D. Rouse. Remarks we began with an animal Jataka, and may appropriately finish with one which shows how effectively the writers of the Jatakas could represent animal folk, and how terribly moral they invariably were in their tales. I should perhaps add that the Bodhisattva is not precisely the Buddha himself but a character which is on its way to becoming perfectly enlightened, and so may be called a future Buddha. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook Indian Fairy Tales. Updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works. So the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the General Terms of Use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start, full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work. To protect the Project Gutenberg mission of promoting the free Distribution of electronic works, by using or distributing this work. Or any other work associated in any way with the phrase project. Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg. Electronic Works. 1.a. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to, and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg electronic works, even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg. 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.1 through 1.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark is set forth in paragraphs 1.8 or 1.9. 1.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.1 through 1.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg. 1.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg license. 1.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee, or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg license as specified in paragraph 1.1. 1.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying, or distributing any Project Gutenberg works, unless you comply with paragraph 1.8 or 1.9. 1.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg electronic works, provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg Works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free. Distribution of Project Gutenberg works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a project Gutenberg electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark. Contact the foundation as set forth in section 3 below. 1.f. 1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate, or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2. Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs, and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3. Limited right of replacement or refund if you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you ASIS, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg electronic works in Accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur: a. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg work, b. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg work, and c. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg. Project Gutenberg is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see Sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the State of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's EIN or Federal Tax Identification number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 41 Watchung Plaza No. 516, Montclair, New Jersey, 07042 USA, +1 862 621 9288. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact. Section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other Ways including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. 2. Donate. Please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the project. Gutenberg concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.